Alright, I just got into Ucluelet and I'm stoked to check this town out. Hit up Tofino. This is 48 hours in Ucluelet and Tofino. Let's do this.
So this was the first time I've ever been to Ucluelet or Tofino, and this was the first sight I seen. It was so gorgeous. I knew right away this was gonna be a good trip. The Wild Pacific Trail circles around Ucluelet. It's easy to walk, and every turn is breathtaking. In this video, I'm going to cover where to stay, eat, and go while you're in Ucluelet and Tofino, BC. Since I've never been, I tried to see as much as possible within 48 hours. There are just so many things to see and do here, so I guess this is my Ucluelet and Tofino travel guide.
Want to get to our campsite. We're at Bella Pacific campground.
So yes, we were camping at the Bella Pacific campground in Tofino. There are a ton of camping options in the area, but this one books up fast and they all book up over summer. For example, we booked this ocean view large tent campsite in February, and this was the last one they had for all of summer. We paid $60 a night. You have neighbors right beside you, but the view overlooking Mackenzie Beach is hard to beat. Mackenzie Beach is the perfect spot to stay. It has that beautiful sand, a 5-minute drive to downtown Tofino, and although you have quite a few campgrounds and hotels on Mackenzie Beach, you'll find this one surprisingly well spaced out. We walked over to quite a few of the other campgrounds on this beach, and I feel like this one was the nicest and most private of them all.
Alright, back to the campsite.
Nah, we're gonna go straight into our next destination, the Tofino Brewing Company. Being from Vancouver, I have heard about this brewery for quite a while now, so I was stoked to check it out. The people were friendly, the place was packed. They gave us free drinks, but to be honest, I didn't find them to be anything special. I see people walking around Vancouver wearing their clothes, so I guess I had big expectations. I don't know. Right next door is the Tofino distillery, and I regret not checking them out. If I had to do it over again, I would have definitely went there instead.
Alright, we're checking out downtown Tofino.
Now, being that Tofino is the last stop, at the end of the highway, I was curious to see what they had to do in downtown Tofino. We found ourselves here at the Roy Henry Vickers Gallery. This was a neat, free thing to do in downtown Tofino. Just covered in Aboriginal art and paintings. Prices were a little out of my reach, but I can't do free. I have to say the one thing I noticed about Tofino is they have a lot of higher end restaurants and hotels. There are not a lot of cheap options in this town. We tried renting a kayak from one of the mini tour operators, but they insisted we had to buy an entire tour package. So we ended up back at our campsite to cook our own dinner. Again, I couldn't get enough of camping on Mackenzie Beach. It's such an underrated place to stay. Bring your own firewood because it's expensive in Ucluelet and Tofino, and set up a campfire right on the beach. At night, it was just littered with campfires across the entire beach. It was such a sweet sight to see. Alright, so on day 2 we decided to do something we had never done before. At Mackenzie Beach, the water's so calm, it's perfect for kayaking and paddleboarding, but we headed to Ucluelet for some surfing. Now there's literally a ton of places to rent whatever you want, but this place, Relic Surf Shop and School, is perfect. The prices were really cheap. You can rent things individually or in groups, and the best thing about this place is they give you these free straps so you can tie your surfboard on top of your car. This is a huge plus. A lot of these surf shops not near the water didn't have this, and they try and upsell you to take surf classes or tours. So this was a huge bonus.
Okay, the waves look huge. When you're at the beach, it just looked big. The guy at the shop said they were pretty bad. That it wasn't a great time to go surfing, but these waves look massive. For someone that's never done it before, I guess they're always gonna look massive. But yeah, let's get changed and go.
So the waves were actually really small. I think I was just a little nervous when I said that. The closest surfing beach in Ucluelet is Wickaninnish Beach. It was so isolated, it felt like no one was there. Now I don't have a GoPro, So I didn't get a lot of footage, but I'm telling you now, get a wetsuit. I cheaped out and it was a big mistake. The water was so cold, even during summer. When I was finished surfing, my entire body was red.
All right, so the crows were eating our food, and once we got out and had lunch, it was just too cold to go back in the water. So we're gonna head back, return the boards, and see where we end up next.
Okay, I think you can still see my face was pretty red. As we were driving back to Tofino, we stopped at Long Beach. Every time we drove through the Pacific Rim National Park, you just see this insanely beautiful beach. So we had to pull over. It's a lot more crowded than Wickaninnish Beach, but it's a gorgeous stop.
Still got one more place in Ucluelet and Tofino to visit.
I don't know if you caught that, but there are still a few more stops we made on our last day. Before leaving Tofino, you have to find this sign and visit Tacofino. Yes, this food truck. It's a bit of a local legend, and even being from Vancouver, I was told by multiple people to eat here. I was skeptical it was gonna be any good, but the place was packed. We had to wait 30 minutes just to get our food, but I have to say, it was totally worth it. The tacos were so good. Absolutely delicious. Definitely a stop you're gonna wanna make. After lunch, we ended up here at the Radar Hill Lookout. It's a super easy 10-minute hike and you get these unbelievable views. There are a few different lookout points up here, but I personally found this one to be my favorite. This just looks insane.
All right, so look at this view. If you're still watching, like the video,